Hey, what's up, guys? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another Emo Cat Dad Listens. What I've been doing is every day of 2024, and including going forward, is I'm checking out a new band or artist every day. Today is Sunday, so on Sundays, it's Ladies' Night. Obviously, growing up in the Warped Tour scene, not a whole lot of female representation, so I've made a point for every Sunday to check out a band or artist that is female, or at least has a female member. And this Sunday, of course, no different. So we're checking out Rolo Tomassi. So what do I know about Rolo Tomassi? Literally nothing. I'm sure all the metal circles are screaming at their phones or computers or tablets or whatever you're watching this on, saying, oh my god, this guy doesn't know anything. You got me. I don't. I really don't. So I'm going in fresh, not knowing what to expect. This was a request, so let's see what Rolo Tomassi sounds like. Alright, so they've released a bunch of albums. It appears the newer stuff is where they've gotten traction, which, not surprising in the metal world. For some reason in the metal world, you need to pay your dues and release like 3 albums before anyone gives a crap about you. So I will guess I'll go back to one of their original albums, and then I'll just listen to off the 3 most recent. So let's listen to I Love Turbulence off their seemingly debut album Hysterics from back in 2008. Alright, so the opening was weird, but still a little bit fun. But the song only got weirder from there. The vocals were not enjoyable at all. I'm hoping that was just a sign of the times and the production budget they had. I'm hoping there was no big money behind this. I'm assuming not. So hopefully we could just chalk it up to that. The music near the end of the song leading into the outro was good. But again, if you've seen me do these before, long intros, outros, interludes don't work for me. And that's exactly what happened here. Alright, so we got the early stuff out of the way. Let's go to their 2015 album Grievances, and I listened to Opalescent. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm thinking, did this weird metal band become a jazz quartet in the 7 years that have passed? I mean, not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, jazz is very difficult to play, so musically, this band is super talented. But boy, oh boy, was this song a slog to get through. Whew. Hopefully it gets better. Alright, now let's go to their next album, Time Will Die and Love Will Bury It. And I checked out Aftermath, which actually is their most popular song. So fingers crossed it's more accessible. Oh my god. This actually sounds like a normal song. It's got like a pop, shoegaze kind of vibe to it. Not my favorite genres, but compared to the last 2 songs, I mean, this feels like listening to the greatest song I've ever heard in my life. But, of course, it still has some problems, notably repeating the same 2 lines at the end of the song. Can we stop doing that? Like, you're a proggy kind of band, like, just play, like, a musical outro for 30 seconds after the last lines, or before the last lines, and just say the last lines once or twice. That's sufficient. Alright, finally we listened to Cloaked from their most recent album, Where Myth Becomes Memory. Alright, so the musical intro on this one was cool. It was actually pretty heavy. I dug it. But once again, went on for 45 seconds. Doesn't need to be that long. The screaming vocals in the song did very little for me, if I'm being honest, but they were a small part, so I guess I can overlook that, since the cleans were actually much better than on the last track, probably due to the better production and putting it a little higher in the mix, instead of focusing on the proggy instruments that, you know, they need to showcase in these types of songs. Speaking of proggy elements, they had a bunch of electronics in the song, but it did kind of fit the vibe, and I dug it for the most part. Alright, so those were the 4 tracks I checked out. Let's rank them. Starting at number 1, we're going to go with the last one I listened to, Cloaked. This was close between, you know, the last two songs. Ultimately, I gave it to this because I enjoyed the clean vocals a little bit more, and of course, the non-repetitive ending of the song also helped. Number 2 is Aftermath. No shade thrown towards Aftermath. I opened it up saying hopefully the song's more accessible, and thankfully it was. So Rolo Tomassi, I salute you for making casual dudes like me have a song of yours that I can sit through and enjoy, unlike the first two songs I listened to, which I guess we'll get to right now. At number 3 is I Love Turbulence. Musically was weird, but I enjoyed parts of it. The vocals were not good at all, so that's why it gets to number 3. Because number 4, Opalescent. Yeah, didn't dig this one at all. So yeah, no redeeming qualities for me. So sorry metalheads. Don't hate me. Or do hate me. I don't care. My overview of Rolo Tomassi is, thankfully, they've seemed to have turned the page on the more recent output. I'm sure there's still those songs, for like the first two, that I didn't really enjoy, that other people did. I'm sure they're on there, they're buried deep in the album, but they don't get the most streams because normal people like me don't want to listen to those. But they're all still super talented. They could do way better than me. Save your "what album did you record" comments, because I didn't, because I'm not talented. But I never touched on the lyrics, so I guess I'll touch on that right now. This has to be a European band of some sort. Just a lot of the songs were metaphors that I didn't get. So maybe this is a thinking man's band and I'm just too stupid to understand. That's probably actually the case. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for checking out this Emo Cat Dad Listens. If this is your first time here, thank you for watching until the end. I'm not quite sure why you did, because you probably click on this because you like the band, and I obviously did not really love them all that much. But since you're still here, if you want to do one more thing for me, you can drop some comments of how stupid I am, and also some other bands that I'll be too stupid to understand. Maybe I'll check them out. Maybe I won't. Time will tell. But if you can also just cut my wrists and hit that subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. Your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad is signing off. But until next time, I want to hear you sad.